It is my honor and privilege to present to you the first speaker of the day, who's none other than CA Atul Gupta, who is a staunch leader, has risen to the highest echelon of accounting profession to acquire the position of the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for the year 2021, and obviously was the vice president in the preceding year. He served the accounting profession for more than 2 decades and is widely respected for his strong organizational skills and deep insight in the affairs of the profession. A commerce and law graduate by education, he served as chairman of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board, the Board of Studies, IT Committee, and Indirect Tax Committee of the ICAI. And under his stewardship at Board of Studies, the new scheme of education and training of ICAI was benchmarked with the revised international education standards and was launched in 2017. Other than that, with deep interest in research, he is credited for the project of preparation of accrual-based financial statements of Indian Railways. He's also been chairman of ICAI Accounting Research Foundation and XBRL India. He's also been director of the governing board of Indian Institute of Insolvency Professionals and Registered Valuers Organization. With his deep, diverse knowledge, he has served in various government bodies and he's been a member of the Accounting Standards of Advisory Board, IRDA, SEBI's Primary Market Advisory Committee, etc. On international front, he's been on the board of International Federation of Accountants, that is IFAC, XBRL International, and South Asian Federation of Accountants, SAFA, and representing ICAI in International Integrating Reporting Council. He earlier has been chairman of Committee on Education, Training, and CPD of SAFA. Being thoroughly conversant with the professional concerns and demands of his times, CA Atul Gupta has authored many relevant books and has published numerous articles in leading newspapers, magazines, and professional newsletters, and delivered lectures in about 1,500 seminars and conferences. So, we welcome now CA Atul Gupta to deliberate, please.
Thank you, Rajiv ji. At the outset, I convey my sincere thanks to the organizer for giving me this opportunity and convey the happy CA Day to all my colleagues and the viewers who are participating in this particular program. Today, we are celebrating the 73rd Foundation Day of the Chartered Accountancy profession, a day when we should cherish the contribution made by the Chartered Accountants in the Indian economy as well as at the global jurisdictions. Today, if you compare, because I traveled and interacted with the global bodies and the various other stakeholders at the different occasions, I can see that the Chartered Accountancy profession, specifically the Indian Chartered Accountancy profession, is recognized globally for their skill sets, their adaptability to the various environment, and the rigorousness they have. At the same time, I also convey my sincere, my request to all my colleagues who are listening this program, that we have a motto in the ICAI, Ya Sapteshu Jagrati, meaning thereby that when everybody is sleeping, it is a person who is awake, is a chartered accountant. It doesn't mean that we have to remain awake in the night. It is something that our wisdom, our foresightness, our visualization should be like this, that we can see that what is going to be implemented, or what will be the economic scenario down the line, 10 years down the line. And accordingly, we have to understand that what will be the new age jobs, what will be the skill set which will be required. And accordingly, we have to reskill our skills to remain relevant in the value system. I used to say that the chartered accountants are the financial army of the country. By setting the global benchmark for the disclosure requirements, not only they pave the way for the companies getting listed at the global stock exchanges, but also it protects the interest of the common man when you are following the assurance and the disclosure standards which are laid down by the profession. Now, friends, today the topic is the GST, the 4 years of GST. So, though I'm feeling little today, I'm little unfit for the medical reasons, but I will say a few words on the GST as well before I sign off and take the permission of the organizer for early sign off. that we all are aware that in the 2017 the GST was introduced, and the GST was introduced to give the two very important benefit to the society. One was the removing of the cascading effect and offer the ease of doing. When there were 17 different laws were there, when the all the industry has to follow, there were the center and state tussles on the various legal aspect. So the ultimate was that the assessees were facing a lot of challenges as far as the cascading of taxes were there, and there was a very, I will say, the challenges for the ease of doing as well. But on the July 1st 2017, the India made a history. Though this law was applicable, already implemented in large number of countries globally, but looking into the federal structure which we have, that everybody has to come on the consensus. It took around 13 years when everybody, the center and state, come to the conclusion, to a consensus, and we witness a historical development of GST. Now the GST, which subsumes more than 17 different law at the center and state level, certainly offer, I will say, the come out from the cascading challenges which were there in the earlier regime. And at the same time, it also offered, to the extent, at least to the organized sector, the ease of doing as well. Yes, there are the challenges when we talk about the multiple registration one has to take for the all the different states and related aspect. But still, I will say that today you are not supposed to comply with the excise, service tax, VAT, or even the small other laws to run your organization. When there are the benefits which came to the industry, first of the removing of the cascading effect and the ease of doing, there was a vision of the government also that let us have a better tax administration. And I can see that from the collections made in the GST vis-a-vis the earlier regime of the excise, service tax and VAT, today the government is getting the buoyancy in the tax collection because of this very reason, that it is easy to administer. Now, when you compare the global economies and the global tax regimes, there are the four different scenarios which are prevailing in the global economies. There are the less efforts, more collections. There are the more efforts, more collections. There are the more efforts, less collection, and there is a like that likewise. Now, if you see the GST regime in our country and the way it is getting collected, the amount is getting collected for the GST, it offers not only the better tax administration to the government, but also give a new dimension of less efforts and the more collections as compared to the earlier regime. Now the systems start speaking with each other. There is a lot of data mining which support the government to understand that where can be the evasion, where is the weakness or in the system as well. So what I'm trying to convey you, that in case if we see the 4 years of the GST, the beginning from 2017, the one side, the stakeholder was the industry, which was looking for a cascading removal of the cascading effect and the ease of doing. The another stakeholder is a government, which was looking for the buoyancy of the tax and the easy tax administration. I will say that to the extents both are being achieved. Yes, there are the challenges as well. When we speak about the challenges, there are more than 1,000 notification and circulars are being issued in the last 4 years, which are practically, at times you feel that it's more than a day, more than a notification or a circular in a day. So practically it is on the one side, it shows the responsiveness of the government, that whenever there are the challenges, whenever there is a query from the government, the industry or from the professional, the government is very responsive and immediately clarifying the aspect or issuing the notification. But at the same time, it should have a more the user friendly process, rather than that today we are doing a kind of a I will say the rectification process. So as we used to say, the prevention is better than cure. So today we are in the philosophy of curing the challenges which are the industry is facing, and it would have been better that we should have planned, discuss and have a UAT before the implementation of the GST per se. But nevertheless, looking into the responsiveness of the government today, we have the more than 1,000 notification and circular issued post 1st of July 2017, which creates a challenge before the SSCs and the professionals to remain updated, to keep track. And that's create a fear in the mind that, okay, there may be a chance of mistakes. I may miss something to comply with. And then there are the harsh penalties and the other related provisions are there. At times, the government is also easing out the penalty provisions, but whether they are sufficient to give a feel good factor to the industry or not is something that we need to introspect. My dear friend, another challenge which I see in the GST, as rightly mentioned by Rajiv Khandelwalji, is the GST and vis-a-vis the various compliance requirement which has to be which are interlinked with the government the system of technology that is called GSTN. Now, my dear friends, you can see that initial there was a lot of teething problem. The data was not getting flown. There were the numerous changes were there. The assessors were facing a lot of problem in the compliance with the GSTN, and the large number of returns were also there. Even today, you can see that every one or the other occasions, the returns are getting changed. That creates a challenge not only for the SSC, but also for the stakeholders who are providing the related services of related to the returns and others. So what I am trying to convey you that when we see these challenges, I believe that the government should come up with a solution that they will be issuing a master circular like which is happening in the RBI. So every month or a 6 months or a 3 months basis or maybe on an annual basis, they should come up with a master circular with all the different changes which happened in the last 1 year, so that someone can summarize and capture all the changes which happened in the last 1 year to see that there is no miss and there is no chance of mistakes are there at the level of the industry, stakeholders, and the other uh, service providers. My dear friend, if I see the future, that down the line, what we are looking from the GST in the times to come, I have the 3 minutes as per the scheduled time given to me. So I will summarize my future, what I see the future of the GST in the times to come. The one is the e-invoicing. As you are aware that the e-invoicing system was implemented already in the October 2020. And I see that very soon it will be applicable not only for the large scale industry, but also even for a smaller SSCs, at least for the B2B model. So when there will be a e-invoicing widespread implementation, I see that the returns will get auto-populated as well. There are the various jurisdictions at the global level. When you are getting all the returns are getting auto-populated in such a way that you have to pay only the differential amount of tax. All the input credit and your output supplies are already available with the government. So you are, they have all the reconciliations available. So one is e-invoicing, which will be triggered the auto-populated GSTR and the reconciliation of the SSC, which will be through the data mining process. I also see that in the times to come, maybe 3 years or 5 years down the line, we should be expecting the single rate of GST, which will actually ease out the things in a more, I will say, conducive environment, which will be offering the more conducive environment for the industry. Today, we are facing a lot of litigations in the compliances. But tomorrow, I see that like in the excise law, there will be a lot of litigations which will start on the HSN classification as well. So in case we are looking that there should not be HSN classifications, litigative issues should not be emerging out. It is better that we should have a single rate of GST, maybe 18% or 20% or 16%. That is something that we have to achieve the RNR, which is the aim to decide the rates. Then there are the number of scrutiny systems which is prevailing in today's environment. There are the scrutiny by the central government, there are the scrutinies by the state government, and even in the central government, there are the multiple agencies who are doing the scrutiny. It should be, the endeavor should be to see that how we can streamline this scrutiny mechanism so that the SSC should not be getting the multiple inquiries from the different departments, different jurisdictions, and from the different sector set of the authorities. So that should be our aim, that should be our vision, that there should be a unified mechanism which should ensure that, okay, there whenever there will be a scrutiny, it will be a single point scrutiny for the SSC, and all the other authorities will be well aware that this case is already being dealt by the one or the other authorities. Similarly, the refund counters, which we plan that in the times to come, whenever there will be foreigners who will be traveling from India to India, and going out, there will be counters for the refund, as well as the faster processing of the refund should be on the discussion by the government to see that how we can give the benefit to the industry for all these aspects. And last but not the least, it is the GST tribunal. As you are aware today, in case there are some issues which the assessee is facing, going beyond the authority for advance ruling, which is actually unsettling the settled position at number of occasions, the assessee has to go for a very, very high cost resolution of the things through the high court or the, as the case may be. So there should be a early implementation of the GST tribunal so that the benefit to the assessees could be achieved in the way that which was happening in the last 70 years of the different indirect taxes regime. So my dear friends, it's 4:25 as per the scheduled time. I have to sign off, and otherwise also I'm feeling little unwell. So my thanks to all my colleagues who are participating in this program, giving me this opportunity. And once again, a very happy CA Day to all of you. Thank you.